Origin's SMP is well into the 3rd season of running, and with some new players joining the server, it's time to run through all their current powers / origins. So subscribe and help us hit 50,000 subscribers before the 7th of May, and let's get started. Yes, courageous goal. First, we have Wilbur and Shovel, whom are both currently the ghost of the server as the Phantom Origin. The Phantom Origin can turn on and off a phantom state that makes you invisible to everyone. That also allows you to pass through most blocks aside from obsidian and bedrock, meaning you can use that to kind of trap them in a prison kind of deal. When in this phantom state, the phantom will burn through their hunger at a far faster rate than normal. When they're outside of this state though, they will take fire damage from the sun throughout the day, meaning that they need to use this phantom state to be able to survive outside throughout the day. The phantom also has 3 less hearts of life overall. Not really too big of a thing overall, but you know, it's still there. Next we have Tommy, Booty and Battle Ainu, who are the local slow flying club in the server as the Avian Origin. The Avian is a bit quicker than normal, with a nice little speed boost to boot. Avians can also slow fly, allowing them to jump from great heights without taking any form of damage, slowly coming down to the surface, unless of course you hold shift, which will deactivate that effect. But the drawbacks to this origin is that you need to sleep at higher altitudes, about to YF85, and also the lacked ability of being able to eat any form of meat-based foods. Then we have Nikki. Nikki is the fish of the oceans in the SMP with the Merling Origin. The Merling Origin can breathe underwater, can see better underwater, and can even break blocks underwater as if she had aqua affinity. They will also get a massive swim speed bonuses and won't sink in water either. But the Merling cannot breathe outside of water. Workarounds such as the turtle helmet's 5 seconds of water breathing, as well as respiration enchantments on helmets in general, will buff your breathing as they would in water, as well as water bottles can be drunk to gain 2 bubbles of air. You'll also be able to breathe in the rain, but it won't refill your bubbles. Instead, you'll have to go back into normal water or have water breathing potions in order to actually do that. Basically making, once you have water breathing potions, they become your best friend and allow you to surface the world, only needing to chug one down every 8 minutes. Next, we have Rambu. Rambu is the friendly Enderman next door with the Enderian Origin. The Enderian can use E-Pearls at any time without actually needing any in their inventory, as well as they will not take any damage whilst using them. They can also reach 2 blocks further than most players, but the Enderian hates water just like his Enderman counterpart. Both in its normal form as well as in the rain, they will take damage from said water. As well as anyone who is currently wearing pumpkins on them will be entirely invisible to the Enderman, armor included, completely vanish, gone, non-existence. I hit the mic. Tubbo is the humble bumblebee origin. The bumblebee can fly with the use of levitation, meaning it's more of a slow flight that floats them around, but it can easily be manipulated and used to float around. Not quite like how elytras work. They will also regenerate both hunger and health when near a group of flowers. The bumblebee will also deal extra poison damage whenever you melee hit a mob, of course with a cooldown. Bees also have slow falling too, but the bee cannot eat food and also has 3 hearts less than normal. They gain hunger, weakness, slowness whilst outside in the rain. A little bonus though that they have, which you can take it to be a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to you. They have a bud that they can use to instantly die. Don't know how useful that's going to be. Tubbo's used it a million different times for a meme, so it's got some use. Next we have Filza, the local fly with the Elytran Origin. They have an Elytra by default, which is completely unbreaking, will never need to be enchanted, and is also unable to be taken off. They can launch themselves into the air every 30 seconds, around 15 to 20 blocks. Another boost is that the double damage that they will gain whilst flying around with their Elytra mean that they're a more formidable enemy when up in the air. But they may only ever wear light armor, no higher than a mostly chainmail set with an iron helmet, as well as they take more kinetic damage, such as falling and flying. They'll also have a stacking debuff whilst underneath blocks or ceilings that are no higher than 3 blocks high. If there's, let's say, 2 blocks of air between the Elytran and the ceiling, they will not gain the stacking debuff, but the stacking debuff is slowness and weakness, which will slowly tick up the longer you stay underneath them. Next, we have Jack. Jack is a bit of a fire with the Blazeborn Origin. The Blazeborn Origin is immune to both fire and lava damage, and they'll also deal more damage whilst they're burning. They're also immune to both poison and hunger debuffs, as they will pretty much evaporate due to the sheer heat of their body. But at the start of the game, you will spawn in the Nether, as well as whenever you do die and don't have any form of bed spawn set anywhere else, you will also respawn in the Nether. They'll also take damage quite like how Enderians do to water, so again, as with the Endirian, just be wary of water, they will deal you damage. Schlatt is here as Fragrance Man with the Arachnid origin. They will summon webs to slow down others whenever they attack them, and they can also climb up blocks as if they were ladders. But in turn, they can only eat meat and also have 3 less hearts than normal. Slimecicle is a slimy boy in the server using the Slimekin origin. They can bounce on any block as if it was a slime block, and also having an improved jump height as well, and is also completely immune to any form of fall damage. Every time that they are meant to die, instead they will half in size and health. It can go indefinitely as long as you really want to do it, as long as it's not on cooldown. The easiest way to deal with this is just basically leave the server, join back in, and booyah, the cooldown's gone and you can immediately die again and go a little bit smaller. They pretty much went into microscopic size with that ability. But in turn, you'll have increased exhaustion as a slime. There's not really too many debuffs there. Sneaksnag is a tiny man being the interesting origin. They are 4 times smaller than a regular person, allowing them to attack a little bit faster than most, at the cost of some of their attack and build range. But they are also immune to both thorns and velocity based damage, whilst also not being able to be slowed down by berry bushes or webs. You require less food than normal and will also be able to climb up blocks as if they were ladders. But you have 5 less heart. Bit detrimental, not gonna lie. Next, we have both Asmasia and Captain Sparkles as the Starborn origin. They'll explode on death, taking all items from their inventories and whoever's items that are currently on the ground with them, but they will summon a lightning bolt whenever they hit another player. They can also shoot bolts, dealing some extra damage to their targets, and they can also send themselves flying into the air, but will have a small chance to be completely immobilized whenever they do something like that, as well as whenever they take any form of damage whatsoever. They also gain boost while underneath the stars at night, losing them all when they're not underneath the stars, but will also take double damage from any form of fire-based sources. Both Scott and Sparkles have 2 different versions of the core Starborn origin, but the only difference between them are literally the color of the effects. The default colors behind the Starborn tend to be more purples, but Captain Sparkles' one's been slightly customized to be more based around red. That's the only difference though, despite what everyone thinks it is. Next we have Technoblade. Technoblade is a rabbit. The rabbit origin. No one really expected it to come, but here we are. They can naturally jump higher and also run faster. They can also leap into any direction using their main ability, and they'll also take less fall damage, requiring a longer fall to take said damage. And whenever they do take any form of damage, there's also a chance that they'll drop a rabbit's foot, but they can only eat carrots and nothing else. They're also unable to wear diamond or higher armor at all, and they also have less health than normal. Then we have Fundy the Fox, who robs everything with the Fox origin. The Fox can jump higher than normal and also has 9 extra slots of items that will not drop on death, counted as their mouth kinda deal. They also have night vision whenever they're not in water, and will go invisible when shifting and not moving for a short period of time. They'll also run faster than other players, but they'll need more food to live as they will get hungrier faster, and is also slightly shorter than the typical 2 blocks. Jane Marriott is the cat of the server using the Feline origin. The feline cannot take fall damage whatsoever and will jump higher when sprinting. They also have slight dark vision whenever it's nighttime, and will also be able to scare away any creepers. Just don't hit them, because even though they'll still be running away from them, they will also explode after you hit them. But they also can only mine stone when there are at most 2 adjacent stones near it. But they can get around this with a strength potion, as well as they have 1 less heart of life to match it with their 9 lives. There are other members in the SMP so far that aren't currently joined the server, or they don't have any form of origin. There's Ninja, who joined the server at the launch of the current season but never picked an origin and hasn't been on much since. Ted Navision is a new member that's apparently been confirmed to join but hasn't actually joined the server as of yet. Crackety was invited when the server originally launched back in early 2021, but no one knows if he's still whitelisted. He probably is still welcome to join, but he may not ever actually do so. As well as George is said to be invited, at least according to Wilbur, but hasn't responded to any of Tommy's DMs about it as of yet. So that is everybody. Now click this video here to learn more about a public origin SMP that you can join. Until next time guys, bye bye!